dinner here at the Pacific City Club, and we are lucky to have my good friend, Rongsan, and he's the founder of Prudent Advisory, and he's been in business as Prudent Advisory for 12 years, which is a corporate finance, mergers, acquisition, restructuring, corporate strategy company. Usually works with larger companies who need help restructuring. He's worked with a number of public companies and some private companies. He's also the first Thai certified Blue Ocean Strategy practitioner. He's also a DESIS certified, now KPI, what else? And this one? He has many different certifications. He's a perennial student besides a coach and advisor as well, and he's worked for a number of companies over his long career in finance. I won't tell you how long, and then you'll guess how old he is, but I'll give you a hint. I was born 1 year earlier than him, so he's about my age, but he looks younger, I know. It's okay. So with that, I'd like to bring Rongsan up, and he's going to talk about the two most important decisions you have to make in business, and it also applies to what you have to do in life. So, Rongsan.
So you want to listen to my talk and then after a big dinner, huh? Okay. The talk I'm going to give today is basically the model that I've used in my consulting, or some of them use in my consulting and my coaching, and it's not my invention. I'm just putting them together. I use a lot of number school, a lot of these from best-selling books. Experience from executives that I work with, and also I use some of the graph and charts here to analyze acquisition targets and things like that. Okay. So the first slide, this is a little girl. Since we were a child, there are a lot of questions that flow through our lives and our minds. Endless questions. Do I want to spend? How do I want to spend this weekend with my friends? Or what school I want to go to? It's about question and question. And basically, this question, till today, there are only two types of questions. Okay, if my experience is any guide, okay, there are only two types of questions that you have to deal with. Okay, and you have to make decisions, so on and so forth. One is dealing with the right direction, where to go from here. Okay, another one is how to do things right. How much money I should put in, which stock should I buy, which is the right stock, what stock should I buy, where should I live, how far should I live from my office. This is all about resource allocation time. And the best of all is, the direction and the resource allocation should go in one direction. That makes you more effective and, more useful, and go to success in your life. I have about 50 slides, and usually my slides, one slide, 1 minute. But I think I'll go a bit faster if I can, so when you have questions, I can entertain them. But feel free to stop me anywhere, okay? And actually, these come from 170 slides, okay? But I just come down to 50 slides and try to explain them. So basically, the direction deal with strategy, correct? Strategy is about direction. Where you want to go, which product you want to pursue, which product features you want to change, okay? Should be a new mission statement? What is my new objective? And another one is dealing with executing your strategy, how to do things right, okay? I will not go and explain what strategy come from Greek words and all those things. So, I'm going to, when I consult a business, the first thing I want to learn is how is the industry structure? How is the game played? Okay? Let's say something simple. Take a restaurant business, for example. Okay? You want to know who supply you the food, right? Who deliver your food, your cheese to your restaurant? Who are the landlord? If you know the landlord, they give you a nice space. They give you a good discount. And also, do you need permits? And who's going to write your reviews to come to your restaurants? And who's going to push, sir, you want wine? You want so on and so forth when you come to a restaurant. They push for more sales. And basically, it's the people who basically write the check. But at least before you know people write a check, you have to know who basically are the players in this industry, who are, who set the rules, okay, and who influences the rule. Basically, maybe these are the influencers, right? They write good reviews, people come to your restaurant. The people who set the rules are probably the permits, the BMA guy, and the landlords to give you good space. Okay? So when you are in a certain business, there are certain factors that decide how you play the game. All right? Okay, let's, so basically you start with price, and these are the factors that people invest or they play to attract clients. For example, formality in dining. You go to McDonald's, they don't give you any spoons and fork, correct? But if you go to a French restaurant, they give you about 25. And sometimes you're confused which one to start first, especially me. Huh? And also culinary awards, you got like 17 certificates and recommendations, and usually it provides more value to people. I'm dining in a very good restaurant. So basically, these are the price you pay. These are the values you get. So you pay a lower price, you get basically low values, correct? And you pay a higher price, you get higher values. You with me? Okay? And if you have time, if you pay high price here, for example, and you receive low formality in dining and all low benefits, what is that? It's a rip-off, basically, right? And basically, if you charge very low price and you give very high value, then what? You're not making any money, correct? So usually this is a standard curve of usually in any industry. Or take wine, for example. Kun Chang, you don't drink wine, but I went to say, but for example, the low price are probably in the bottles. No tanning period, no oak cage, no famous chateau, and they also have first oak, second oak, and and all these things. So these are a lot of advertisement and things like that. Okay, so these are the factors that people invest. You have to pay a lot of people, okay, to write you good. To invite them, pay a lot of money to invite them to dine at your restaurant, to advertise them. You have to create chandelier to make it look nice. It costs money to attract people. Or take another example, bookstore. When I say I'm going to open a bookstore, Kun Chang, you're going to ask me the first question, right? What is the first question you ask me, Kun Chang? You want to try? Where, right? Basically, ที่ไหน? Where? Then what's the next question?
What are you going to serve?
Right, what books I carry, right? And how many titles I carry, how many shops, how many stores? I say none. You'd be surprised, right? Look at Amazon.com. They sell a lot of books. They have no inventories. They have no stores. They carry, usually average titles they carry in the bookstore is about 15,000 books. Bigger store maybe 150. Amazon carrying millions of books. Okay. So these are the rule of plays in any industry. I'm going a bit fast here, but another thing that I look is, I also talk to a client, to a friend, what do you like to do? When they ask me, we're interested in acquiring a footwear company. We are in a good footwear company. We're interested in buying another footwear company. And a lot of people look, they talk to, C.B. Richard Ellis. They said, look at net asset values, how many factors they have, what is the market value. Say, where do you look at? Say, I don't look at any of this. First, I look into your heart, whether you like it or not. He say, well, Ramsan, who likes the work? I say, okay, that's good. I ask yourself when you go to work, you say, thanks God it's Friday. Why do you want to buy another company to create another problems, right? If you hate it, get out of it, right? So at the end, he sold it. He sold his company, and he makes millions. And every time he meets me, he pays for lunch. Say thank you. And I didn't get any money, but that's fine, because If you hate it in the first place, why do it? A lot of people don't like it. Don't like what they do, but they do it for the money. When they're 40 like me, 50, you get bored. You say, thanks God it's Friday. No, it won't work. And you cannot keep up with competition with the change. So, first of all, look at your passion. Okay? Mission, statement, mission, values. If the company don't like what they do, get out of it. Okay? Especially, I coach a lot with CEO and executive who happen to be owners as well. Okay? Another thing you look at is, I also look at the company, what do actually they do, where they do well, right? The first question I ask, what do you think your clients have in common? I said, I don't know. I said, well, look. And what do you think, what your products have in common? I said, I don't know. You know, let's say, look, let's take Procter & Gamble, for example. Everything, you know, all the customers have in common is mother and child products. Pampers, everything, Kleenex, Kimberly-Clark has to do with paper. Paper for this, paper for that. And Procter & Gamble also make paper, but they're coming from a different driving force. They're coming from a mother and child perspective, where Kimberly-Clark is coming from a production capacity because they have capacity to produce. So, but they compete in a certain sector. Or take another example for 3M. What is 3M good in? Adhesives, right? Glue. Post-it note.
That was a mistake.
Post-it note. Oh, they make tons of money. In 1985. Huh? What else? Sandpaper. Right? It also involves adhesive. What else? Scotch tape. Duct tape. What else? Automobile films, huh? What do you call that? Laminates, yeah, for some windshields and so you analyze if 7 out of 10 are the features of your product. There must be something good about it. Something that you do about those products. Maybe it's your DNA actually, right? Something that, you know, so look at it, something you must be good at, the product, features, market. Look for common characteristics. Okay. One of my clients, the product is all about electric, wiring, refrigeration. Or what is Honda good at, for example, something that you know. I cannot name the name that I consult. Okay. I cannot review the work that I do. You probably read them in the newspaper in the last 2 months and you don't even know about it that I'm doing it. But let's say Honda. Honda is good in what? Engines. You know this before. Yeah? You better let people, you know, engines, huh? So they make airplane engines. They make scooter engines, cars, motorcycles.
Formula One.
Right. So this is something they're good at. So analyze yourself. What do your products have in common? And also analyze myself. What are my clients have in common? All of them speak English and read English because they can write Thai very well. So although I write karaoke English then, but it's better for me to write it than I write Thai. And also most of them are overseas educated. And 7 out of 10 have PhDs for some reason. Maybe they only read books and never go out in the real world for some reason. So you analyze, and maybe there are something that connect you with this group of people. So ask you, and I do that every year. Okay. Next thing you look is, if you love to sing, and if you have a DNA singing, and Kun Chang would know, if you're in Likke or Lam Tat, something like classical Thai opera, no one is listening. It's a dying market. It's not paying you, so it's going to drive you nowhere. It's going to push you nowhere. You are selling a product or service that no one wants. So you have to look at this as well. A lot of people in a dying business. So maybe 20 years ago was a good business. 40 years ago was my father's business, but today is dying. So we look at these 3 things and then we move on. Okay? And this is called situation analysis. I analyze where the company is at. Another thing is why I'm not selling. Maybe you go look at the product process. to find your product take ages. You don't know where to find them. You don't know where to search them. Where to purchase them. They only take Master, American Express or diners. You don't carry them. And you search them. You probably have to go to Utah or Park City just to buy them. Delivery we deliver only at the end of at the 25th of the month. You take 1 month to order your flat screen TV, and juice is complicated. You need a PhD to understand the menu. And accessories, you have to order from Hong Kong. Huh? And the maintenance, you wait 4 weeks before they come. And disposal is hazardous, right? So analyze his buying process, investigate your buying experience. This guy has tattoo. I think he's tolerant a lot of things, huh? Usually because he can stand tattoo. He cannot even stand this buying process. So look at it. So if you want your clients to give you money, make it easy, less pain points for them. You call a company, dial number 650-0000. Hello, welcome to XYZ company. And you listen to 42 minutes of press 1 if you want to talk to marketing, press 2 if you want to talk to sales and admin, press 3 if you want to collect the receivable, press 4 if you have questions, press 5 if you're looking for maintenance, and press 45 if you want to talk to your own grandmother. I mean, it's dreadful. And people come to me and say, you don't need me, you call yourself, don't call your direct line. Don't call your secretary, call the central number. Once in a while, experience what your client have to go through. You don't have to pay me, I say that. They make money. You know. Okay, after analyze that, they do it well. Then you say, wow, look outside your box. Get out of your box, look outside for new ideas, right? Look to the future and look around you, okay? Where you can get business ideas, product ideas, okay? First of all, you look around, okay? If you're in your airline business, don't only look at airlines. Look into how people get from point A to point B. I go to I'm from Bangkok to Chiang Mai. You can take bus, taxi, drive motorcycles. It doesn't have to be no air or TG only, right? If you want to take transportation, you can go from a plane, a BTS, a taxi, or a bus. On the horizontal side, on the vertical side, you can have a second-hand car, a Vios, a Civic, a Prius, then an Accord camera. So it's for vertical and horizontal. You can work both. So analyze that. That is your competitor. Okay, and also you look at your customer group who are your geo customers and who are occasional to or non-users. Why they're not buying your business? Why not giving you any money because of pain points? Or why people who never thought of using your business, can you make them become your clients? Think of that. Don't try to compete and attract the same client. That's the mistakes that most people do. They go into a certain industry, a video game. Only kids play, they think. Look at Nintendo Wii. My mother-in-law, close to 70, is playing with my son, 6 years old. I mean, 20 years old, you cannot imagine that, right? Because with all these buttons, there are 17 buttons. You don't know which one means jump, push, kick. It's complicated. Right now, you just swing, Well, let me go something more simple. Take example the shaving of the 19th century, right? In the old days, Kun Chang, you go to a New York barber, right? I mean, if you're engaged in politics and you have a problem with some laughs there, you go to a barber, you look up and they cut your neck, right? Or cut our neck. So this is very dangerous thing. Okay? It's very dangerous thing. And the people who go there are usually GQ magazine guys, New Yorkers, in suits. And this guy hardly go there because of distance. It's too far from them to visit. So this is probably occasional customer, correct? And this, maybe they can't afford it. It's too far to go, and I'm too stingy to go inside. People don't look at it. Oh, you're writing something. So these are basically maybe something close to the industry, but this is kind of far up. Look at this. You think women would ever become a client? 100 years ago, would people imagine that people can also benefit from shaving? No? Look at this. They don't shave their beard, they shave their legs, right? And it's less painful, huh? Less pain point. You don't need like something that to cut someone's throat on your, it's something that is basically quite safe, huh? To shave your legs. These are non-customers, like, for the shaving industry, and Gillette make tons and tons of money. Okay, shaving, right? And Nintendo Wii is the same thing. And what else? Okay. And also look for, that's how you look at for idea, and look at unexpectedness and incongruities. Unexpected, something that is unexpected. Why is this happening? I mean, for example, unexpected success. Look at Amazon.com. Why so successful? Why American Airlines was so successful? With all those mileage points. Why? Maybe it's a trend of the future. And unexpected success is usually, to me, it means a high growth. And consecutive high growth. Let's say the average economy grows 5%. If you grow 15%, I consider high growth. And if, let's say, take for example, a computer industry, okay? If a consecutive growth of 15% for 4 or 5 years, it creates a new industry, right? This remote control, right? Mouse, wireless mouse, what else? Thumb drive, iPhone, PDA, tons of things comes with it. Okay, Facebook, why is unexpected success? A lot of people just say, unexpected success. And by the way, when I'm talking about unexpected success, when I launch a product, it could be a product in your department. Everything we launch, we think is going to be successful, right? If you think it's going to fail, you won't launch it, right? It would be stupid to launch something that would think you lose money. But something grow more than normal. Why? Ask yourself. 10 years ago, Kun Chang, you can probably answer or even more. Bangkok Post was selling 5 times the rate of growth as in Bangkok. Why? You think Isan people read English newspaper? All those farmers, when they take a break in the afternoon, they start reading newspaper. You know why? Because a lot of these northeastern girls marrying a lot of guys from Scandinavia, Farang, huh? So this guy, when English language. Yeah, English already read English language newspaper. Then you say Khơi Farang. So that's how the growth. And you can start dry cleaning, Western Union, a lot of things you can do with all this, right? So you look at unexpected success. Okay? Not only success, you look at failures as well. Correct? A lot of people, when they launch something, they say it's supposed to be a success. Or you can learn from something that you failed. Okay? A lot of people sweep that under the rug and forget about it. And when they succeed, they celebrate. They open champagne and they celebrate. So learn from unexpected failure. I can give you an example. Maybe because of certain trends, certain change, like let's say, for many of you, Ford, right? What at one time they were building cars that sell like hotcakes, correct? And 30 years later, they almost went bankrupt. And they come up with a Ford called Ford Edsel, right? And that Edsel actually named after the Gerald Ford's son name, right? Because he expected to be an instant success, but no one will buy it. So it fails. Why? Basically, Chrysler and other people will benefit from this failure because people are buying cars, not going from point A to B because of lifestyles. So there are events and trends of the future that shape your future game, how you play. Okay? One is economics, social demographics, political regulatory. If 6 years ago, if you don't know what stock you buy, people ask me, I say AIS. And ITV, yeah? But 4 years ago, you'll be losing money because you buy ITV Taxini stock. So political regulatory is playing, huh? Maybe you don't agree with this. I think Lehman Brothers went bankrupt because because they are supporter of Democrat and Republican were in the government at that time. I think Lehman Brothers support Democrat, and Goldman Sachs support.
Number one contributor to Obama's campaign is Goldman Sachs.
This now, but in
back
the old
then,
days.
2008. Back then.
Okay. What do you think, Chan? Okay.
All the guys in the government are ex-gold.
But the concept is, you look why this is happening, right? You know, why there's a financial crisis, why there's yellow and the red. Let's say 6 years ago, if you're in Thailand, if I can see the futures, if I go back 8 years, and from now people ask me, I have a crystal ball. You say, Ramsan, what should I sell? Just sell anything with yellow shirts. Just sell like hotcakes, huh? Today, I mean, there are only like maybe 20 people at the government house, okay? And these are the trends. Maybe they are there for good, huh? So think of yourself, you know, sit in a time machine like this one. You remember this movie, right? Back to the Future. In the what's the car called? DeLorean. Okay. In a time machine and go 5 years from now. Imagine how market will be. Be a PhD student, huh? Don't be a manager of your own product. No, because maybe no one need any more Polaroid. If you think people will need Polaroid, no, maybe they're competing with digital camera. If you're trying to make a faster Polaroid camera, it doesn't work. Maybe people are using what? PDA, phones, Facebook, and all these things. So you have, and 8 years from now, what do you see? And you know, look along these trends, how these trends are shaping how you play, how the market is being played. Huh? After you get ideas from this, you start a vision, creating your vision, right? Nothing happens unless you have a dream. First, a dream. Okay? Am I okay with time? Am I going too fast? We're 27, halfway. Okay, right? Then, I mean, the first thing you look with a vision, maybe you have 6, 7 projects you want to launch, or 6, 7 acquisition targets, 6, 7 products, or 4 products. You look at the cost and benefit. Huh? If it's high cost, medium cost, low cost, and low benefit, forget it. Why be involved? If it's an excellent benefit, low cost, this is something you look for. So map all your projects, put them in these boxes. That's how I do it. Okay? How much money I put in, what is the potential return. Another one is you look at your strategic fit or strategic alignment. I mean, I used to advise a $4 billion advertising company. The advertising is very tough. Say, Ramsan, I'm going to sell ninja, you know, I mean, some mushroom import from China. I say, how is that fit in your strategic alignment? Say, I don't know, it's just good profit. So you look whether it really fits what you do, okay? Because, and also implementation hurdles. Is it difficult to do this project? If your company is very good in what you do, you expand according to your core competencies, there should be no problem. Or if you can buy the expertise, like Oishi Green Tea, Mr. Tan, never be in a beverage business before, but he just can buy green tea powder. Then he has very low implementation. Then you take these 2 charts and you map them together, and you sum up the smallest points. With 1 and 1, they should be the best work. Make sense? Okay. This is assessment matrix we use. The next one is, with a new strategy profile, you want to be able to reduce some factors that create cost for your products. You know, you reduce formality in dining, you can reduce certain things, reduce prestige location, and you increase certain things like help conviviality, babysitting service, or whatever for your restaurant. Let's say, I mean, the reason I came up with this chart, if I have a couple of things. You know why? You ever ask yourself why French restaurant is not very popular in Thailand?
Too expensive.
Too expensive? How about Italian? Do you think it's more expensive than Italian? Expensive than Japanese?
Same price.
Okay, same price. Now, give me another reason, but that's a good one. What else? I don't want you then.
French food is too complicated and not sharing.
Okay. Huh? Yeah, Hindu. But why is Hopla in Hong Kong and Singapore? Right?
Maybe.
Huh? Maybe.
They're self-sensitive.
You know, like, you know, for price sake, probably not. But you look at, they say, well, because it's too fancy. Look at Japanese. They serve you a dish. You don't want to eat. It looks like art, right? So it looks like French food. It's expensive. Why Japanese is popular? French is not. The price is the same. The artistic impression is the same. But why? And the taste of French is close to Italian. So, you know, why French stand out as an expected failure in Thai market, where it succeeds very well in Hong Kong and Singapore. So people ask me, I said, well, I mean, with pizza you can share, like parents say. Sushi you can say. Thai people like sharing. Southeast Asian, Malaysian. I used to dine with Mahathir on the same table with my wife. He passed me a plate. That was the first time I had an opportunity to have dinner with him. And he passed me a plate. And he, because with this is probably Southeast, maybe more of, but Singapore is probably more modern. So although I lived in Singapore for 3 years. So I mean, in Thailand, you'll have, in Singapore, you probably have very few maids. In Thailand, you probably have to have a seat maybe for 2 or 3 maids, because one driver, one maid, and one babysitter when they go to a restaurant or something. So maybe you can reduce some formality in dining, prestige, location, and increase some factors that are important to the local market. Okay, makes sense? All right. I mean, if it's complicated, look at AirAsia. If I want to start an airline business, the first thing we look is, 6 years ago, the first question is, where is your ticketing office? What kind of food you serve on your airplanes, right? AirAsia say no. You pay 2 million baht in 1970 for an office in Ceylon. I pay today 45. Forget it. My cost. We have 2,000 people for our canteen. We're not gonna absorb that cost. So what I will, if you want to eat with your girlfriend, your wife, okay, or your kid, your mistress or your grandmother, or eat at the airport before you fly. So they don't have that cost. Canteen 2,000 people. Ticketing office. Print a ticket at the comfort of your own cell phone, right? You don't need a ticketing office, correct? They eliminate class distinction, business and economy. Business class, 20 seats, only 6 fit. But in AirAsia, every seat almost fit. Seating arrangement, when I go on a plane, I want aisle, my wife take what? Window, the middle don't want to sit, right? I don't want to sit in the middle. But in AirAsia, first come, first serve. Everything is filled. So they don't have that 30% lack capacity. They don't have charges, hotel fares for flight attendants. They work 15 days and they stay 15 days in another country, and you have to pay for hotels. This is sleep at your own home, sleep with your mom or your boyfriend or your husband. Sorry, your husband in that case. Need to travel to ticket office? No. In flight service, longer flights, they reduce. They raise frequencies. The problem with TG to Malaysia is 8 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Because of connecting flight. When you fly to Malaysia, then they connect from Malaysia to Sydney or something. But actually they fly every 45 minutes. We don't worry about your connecting flight. You get ready. And also we fly from point to point. From Hat Yai to Chiang Mai, don't stop over to Bangkok, just like you drive your own motorcycles or your own car from Chiang Mai to Phuket or Phuket to Chiang Mai. But in the air, you have a hub, right? You fly from Memphis to Salt Lake City or to Chicago, or you fly from everywhere to Bangkok, and you spread out again. This is from point to point. Self-ticketing and all these things. Leather seats, you feel like you're sitting in a BMW Series 7 when you fly AirAsia for the first time. Right? It's leather seats. Usually you get only what do you call? Fabric seats, like in a Toyota Vios when you fly TG. But when you sit on AirAsia, the leather seat smells good, and it's a faster turnaround for cleaning. Okay, so what AirAsia did is redefining existing market, neutralize computer cost strength, like in food, in ticketing office. If you are, let's say, UAE, your ticketing office is probably somewhere Sukhumvit 64, but where TG is in Sathorn, Ceylon with you, right? So it's more expensive to have ticketing office that is closer and more convenient. Now, that is the strategy part. How this is executing your strategy part. The first execution is autonomy. I always tell people, when you do something, make sure you have autonomy. Otherwise, it's difficult. Boss, the enemy is next to me. Can I fire? You're already dead. Right? You're in Iraq, for example. Or you're working with a Japanese company, which I worked for 8 years. what happened is you have to, if you want to go to toilet, you have to fax to Tokyo for permission. Boss, can I go to toilet? You know, otherwise you have to man your desk all the time, and you don't have a toilet. But I mean, they're very good though. Once they make a decision on something, it goes according to step. But in Thailand, it's tough. And when you go in a partnership or hire people, then you look at first who, then what. It's character first over competence, especially in my business. You don't want to hire a lot of people when to know what you are doing, and the information leak, you go to jail. Sorry.
We use this a lot with our American customers when they come here.
Sorry?
We use this concept a lot with my American customers that come in, because you can teach skills, you can't teach character.
Right. And I have to thank Kun Chan for bringing it up. And the reason, I mean, I have to thank again, the things that came, this concept is from the school, same school that Kun Chan and I attend. We went to Brigham Young University. I think it's rated probably the best ethical school for business in America. And I think the church values and all that are very good. Teach people to have ethics in dealing with business. I'm sure a lot of you are, but I think this is what I learned. Character first over competence, and that's made my life much easier these days. Okay, and I used to hire people. When I come back to Thailand, I used to go for competence first because we were lacking staff. I don't need to grow anymore. We have 3 staff. The year combined sales of the company we advise, just the 2-3 company we advise right now, it's about 40 billion baht. 2 months ago, we acquired a bottler, a soft drink bottler. The sales of it alone is 20 billion baht. I'm not going to go deeper in detail because of the nature of my work, but you read it a lot, and you probably know from the newspaper or anything. Okay, and another thing is, when you start a business, engage a consigliere. If some of you are Thai, people say, what is consigliere? I mean, if you look at this, if you see this guy, who is that? Robert Duvall, right? It's from a Godfather movie, right? He went to a guy and say, I have a proposal. Right? And if you say no, my boss insists on hearing the bad news immediately. The morning the guy wake up, saw a horse head on his bed. So, I mean, it's not an advisor. It's someone who can tell you what's coming